so many things happening, different, new, like my hair. I'm back to longer twists. We'll see how long this lasts. I haven't actually rocked longer twists in the summertime since like 2020, maybe 2021, but I think it was probably 2020. So, switch up there, and we have news. The official date for the Nike Sabrina 2 or Sabrina Ionescu 2 will drop on June 28th, so that it's fast approaching. Next month, finally, we're discussing some 2024 shoes, not 2025, and we'll get into some of the funny conspiracy theories, but then also what's being said about the Sabrina 2 in itself. And of course, WNBA, a lot is going on, ramping up. Most of my discussions there are had on Twitter, and I've already shown you it's an interesting place. It really is. But Aces charging ahead 2-0, and even the teams that are lower in terms of ranking or preseason ranking, they're still showing up and showing out, whether it's the Mercury or the Sparks. I am such a big Cam Brink fan. She is doing amazing, as well as Angel Reese in Chicago. They got their first win. Injuries are starting to plague some teams, and that's unfortunately what happens. But nonetheless, news on the shoe. So, of course, that broke on Saturday, and you can check out a number of different sneaker publications and footwear publications that will have the news on this. But the Sabrina 2 will actually be a full collection, and Cousteau did a great thread on this on Twitter, so you can certainly check it out. First off, I love the color of the shoe, so us getting this purple looks amazing. I'm a big fan of that. You guys know I already have the Candy and Purple 4, so I think they did a really great job on the colorway itself. If you take a look at how intricate it is, and just in terms of the texture and the patterns, I think it's great. Now, of course, the Kobe 5 comparison, I think it's fair. I would not get up here and say, no, it's not what it is. No, yeah, yes, it is, okay? We can all draw the comparisons. If you were to just glance and not know or not pay attention to the S on the shoe, you would certainly think that it's probably a Kobe 5. And I love the 6 first, and then I think the Kobe 5 is an amazing silhouette. So I know we criticize Nike for being lazy, and rightfully so. At least in terms of it being maybe a tad bit lazy here, or maybe just really taking that 5 DNA and bringing it over to the aesthetic of the Sabrina 2. At least you did a great job in this one. Like, you were truly working, I guess, lazier, smarter, but actually giving people something they could be excited about. And you're still going to struggle to get some Kobe, so you shouldn't really struggle to get the Sabrinas. I mean, you can go and get the Sabrina 1, and they did Nike by You, and a lot of you did some great designs. I've seen the player exclusives. I've seen different colleges receive their Sabrina 1. It is truly one of the most worn silhouettes throughout basketball. But guess what? It wasn't really worn for kids because they didn't do kids for the first Sabrina shoe, and I don't understand why. Like, you have so many young girls that are looking at Sabrina and they want to be her, they want to shoot like her. Why not offer it in kids? I don't know, but at least they rectified that with the second drop. So this will be available also in kids. So you'll have the price point, I believe it's $130 for the adult sizing and $100 for bigger kid sizing. And then the box itself. So I like the print on the side, just the Sabrina. I like the print, the big S on the box itself. Now, in terms of cushioning, Cushlon 3.0 foam midsole. And they've used that in other models, but I am curious to see how this will look, because if you look at the first one, it did look as if it would crease a lot just off first wear. So maybe with the Cushlon, that will not be the case itself, but it says it will offer support and stability and comfort. They're not going to sacrifice any of that, but they actually did make this 28 grams lighter. And if you're on the floor, you want something that's light. You want something that will allow you to move effortlessly. You want that stability moving laterally side to side, even though I do joke that's not like a strong suit of hers on defense. She's kind of a cone on defense. That's not a personal shot. It's just the truth. She's not usually guarding like the most elusive guards on the floor. She's just not. But nonetheless, the intricate details of the actual shoe. So if you look on the underfoot, it has an exposed swoosh and an eye again on the underfoot. I think it's a really cool element of the shoe, though you're not going to see it. You're not. So that's the only bad part about some of these shoes, and they put something on the outer sole on the bottom. Who is looking at it? But it is cool. I'll give it that. And then you have the eye that is slanted vertically up for breaking through glass ceilings, and that is exactly what the Las Vegas Aces were looking to do in the city of Las Vegas, to provide them $100,000 sponsorship for every single player. They looked through the CBA. They checked with their agents, and it was all clear. But my goodness, heaven forbid we see progress, and Now it's an investigation. Can you investigate the chartered flights, Kathy, and why they are so selective? Like, how come DC, how come Washington isn't flying charter when they have to fly all the way to Seattle to play them, but Indiana is flying charter to Connecticut, and that's a way shorter flight? The math isn't mathing with the miles in the sky, Kathy. I don't care how you try to spin it. It's just not working out. So we have the Sabrina 2. Now, the funny conspiracy theories a lot of sneaker channels may not actually talk about with this Cave Purple, right? The Golden State Valkyries, so that will be the next expansion team. That will be the 13th WNBA team. They will be fully established 2025, so they will be a team you can go to. And they've already got 10,000, I think, ticket deposits. They had a block party, E40, Kalani. Like, they're already, listen, the culture is showing up for them already, and we love to see it. They're purple and black. I also think Tessa needs to be in there somewhere. I don't care. Marvel, WNBA, make it happen. This is the crossover that I need. But the Valkyries, they're purple. A lot of people have these conspiracy theories going around. They're like, oh, could Sabrina, with her ties to Steph, possibly like make her way over to go to say, I don't see that happening. Like, she's truly New York's player. So again, I don't see that happening now. Paige Beckers, when it's time for Paige Buckets to come out of the of college and enter the draft, she already said she liked the purple. I too would like to see Paige in the purple. Okay, now I intend to get a Valkyrie shirt because I'm just a fan of all the teams, and I would love to have that. Play Society already has merch up, like they were on it. They had to be hush hush about it though, so I would love that. But I think this is a great second showing for a signature sneaker. I think it's the best one. I think maybe Anthony Edwards would like rival that for his second one, with it being the low. But I am really curious to hear your thoughts. Like, do you think it's a bad thing that it does have so much Kobe DNA? I know we say, hey, Nike, innovate, but if they're not choosing to innovate and they're at least sticking to what they do really well, are you okay with it if it means more accessibility? If it means you can really make it your own with Nike by you, or would you have wanted her to go in a totally different direction? Again, I love that kids are being allowed to have access to this too. The 130 price point, super reasonable. I think that's one reason why the AE1 is a fan favorite also, just not based on the design and aesthetic and performance, but also for the fact that they kept their price point reasonable. Nike tends to keep theirs reasonable too, unless you get to like LeBron tier, and then it's just way expensive and you have to wait. Mostly they sell when they go on sale themselves, not necessarily with this one. But again, curious to hear your thoughts on the Sabrina 2. I think it's a great colorway. It's on my list. It's not a pair that I think I need to rush out and get just because the Sabrinas are readily available. And I still haven't even stepped on the court for this summer. I know, shame on me. I need to get on it. But again, comment your thoughts on the Sabrina 2. And then another thing that we have just recently discussed, maybe in some rants. I don't know. I had some things to get off my chest. But when it comes to passing on a shoe, because we are in May, and May is mental health awareness, I just think we need to tap in. What is it about us that we're triggered by? Maybe we are really in our emotions if somebody passes and then we feel that like somebody's telling us we can't buy the shoe because they're not buying the shoe. Please check that video out because maybe you have the answers. I don't. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.